Alrighty then, it's time for replacement hell match, and this one is with Zac. Which one? And I'm gonna say flat out that I kind of sucked really hard in the early game. If you hate watching someone CS poorly, then you might not want to watch the first couple of minutes of this game. Still though, there will be some valuable lessons learned here. Now, in placement matches, I can just kind of assume that I'm not playing at the division I was prior to the reset. So I kind of figure if my opponents are likely gold or silver or something, and I can expect them to make some mistakes. This Tryndamere fights me 1v1 right now, and actually I intended this. It didn't work out as well as I hoped because he hits ridiculously high. I was hoping to get him to pop his Ignite, so if he didn't have an Ignite, I wouldn't be so afraid. I didn't care about losing my passive. I figure in a slugfest between minions and me and him after I max out my Q, he wouldn't be able to deal with me. Unfortunately, as you can see, it cost me my flash too, so even though I technically got what I want, I didn't get it the way I wanted. Now, without being an asshole, there's one thing you gotta say about certain champions. They're considered solo queue superstars. In competitive, they're not seen as much because they're very snowbally or basically dependent on a lot of situations or things to go in their favor. You can see a lot of the enemy team is composed of that. Now, I think some of these champions are also kind of, how would you say, crutches for people. I mean, just watch this gank. Master Yi comes to gank me, I see him coming, so I back away. At this point, Master Yi would back off because he's too close to the tower, but no, he dies me anyways, or just uses Alpha Strike, and gets chunked down to a fourth of his health. Like, there was no benefit to that. It didn't really harm me at all. Tryndamere ends up coming in too, and he's fighting against me and a huge amount of minions. He can't do damage fast enough to wipe me out. And then he comes at me anyways, but at this point my cooldowns are back and I burst him down immediately. Master Yi does catch me, and in fact he will kill me, but Lee Sin ends up punishing him for that. What I mean by these kinds of champions, the crutch champions, are the ones that I would actually kind of recommend to play in solo queue, but they're the champions that even lower skilled players, or at least dumber players, can win games with. Like, if your opponents make a mistake, intentionally or not, or something bad happens to them, or you just get lucky, a situation gets lucky for you where you get to farm super heavy or whatever, then you can just snowball out of control. You get fortunate crit, you can get fortunate, CS or spawns or whatever, and it goes well for you. Or you can have shit like this where Lissandra just flashes ult stun against a Tryndamere who still has his ultimate. You'll see what I mean right now when I focus on the Master Yi mid lane. Even though, yeah, I'm kind of shit-talking these champions, I still would recommend them over someone like Zac. Zac, for how awesome he is, he really can't always carry because his damage is pretty sustained and pretty minute in comparison to the carries like Master Yi. But at least with someone like Zac, you can set up plays and hope your teammates do something properly. In fact, Zac was kind of a panic pick at this point, so this is why you see me playing him right now. Either way, as far as placement matches go, I try to focus more on champions that can sort of carry, sort of tank, so that's why you saw me want to pick Jarvan, also because he's one of my favorite. But either way, watch this. Or sort of watch me and then watch me go back in the camera. Fizz gets attacked by the Blitzcrank and the Lissandra and gets killed. The Master Yi, for whatever reason, he knows Lissandra and the Lee Sin are still here. He chases after the Blitzcrank, pops his ultimate, pops his Alpha Strike, and then gets killed. It's like, he knew. Everyone was there and went for it anyways. There was no chance in hell he could have killed the Lissandra, not Lissandra, the Blitzcrank within a proper time. Here against the Tryndamere, I make sure to try to fight him around my blob so I can beat him just by having more sustain than him. I do pop my ultimate, but I use it more to try to guide myself to my slimes to survive. Thankfully, I managed to lower his health enough for him to back away, and he won't try to attack me anytime soon. Lee Sin comes up top lane to try to help me kill the Tryndamere, but since he's remaining here for quite a bit, it's actually kind of a bad situation because it's going to lure the enemy Fizz and Master Yi towards us. I fail at stopping the Master Yi because I short shot my E, and fortunately for us, he tower dives again. You know, if the Fizz wasn't here, Master Yi would have died in a very embarrassing way, even if he killed a Lee Sin. Fizz also tower dive, tower dives and dies as well, so that was hardly worth it in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, hooray for placement matches, right? The thing is, this is my rule is first time it's a mistake, second time it's habit, and third time it's just flat out greed. And they're getting to that third part at this point. Like the enemy, I've noticed this in the placement matches I've played. Players are playing incredibly greedy. In fact, I am playing pretty greedy too, because I'm kind of underestimating my teammates' parts or assuming they do some silly things. Like here, the Trinity used a spin when I was very close by, which pretty much allows me to attack him brutally. And in fact, I end up being able to kill him once my ultimate comes back off cooldown, because he had no chance of escaping now that his E was on cooldown. Here too, a really brutal fight from bottom lane that was fought very sloppily causes Master Yi to run down there and able to pick himself up a double kill, although he ends up dying as well. Then Fizz picks up the Lee Sin after having killed a few more people, and you see, this is kind of what I mean. Master Yi and Fizz are getting pretty big. These are the types of champions that, taking these advantages, even if they kind of barely earned them, can go pretty much absolutely crazy. I mean, I admit, a true master of Fizz and a true master of Master Yi, well, that's kind of funny to say, can do some really crazy shit. Like, if you see Calcep, he can legitimately carry as Master Yi and force advantages to happen. But the average player, or at least the average unskilled player, kind of can't. But they just kind of win by kind of sheer bullshit, right? Anyways, I teleport down, kill myself a Master Yi, and we kill ourselves a Fizz, and Lucian and Leona, not realizing, or at least not giving a damn that we were so near close by, kept pushing and didn't back away, so we pretty much get ourselves a free 2 kills. Again, this is happening way too goddamn much in placement matches, so I would actually say, if you're gonna play placement matches and you're pretty good at ganking junglers, I would go a ganking jungler. I would strongly recommend Rengar if he's in the band. If not, I would actually recommend Nocturne, because at least if you can't get an initial gank or burst down on somebody, maybe you can slice and dice people, right? You gotta go for, in my opinion, you gotta go for the versatile champions, the versatile carry champions. Master Yi is great, but he doesn't have CC or flexibility. Fizz is great, but he's kind of stuck in middle lane, and so on and so forth. Someone like Jarvan or Xin Zhao or Nocturne, you have some ganking tools and some CC, but you can just straight up beat people to death. Now, once again, the Master Yi, for whatever reason, thinks he can 1v1 a Zac who's 2 levels higher than him and has a Deadman's Plate and a Ninja Tabi while he has basically nothing. Of course, it didn't go well for him. I don't want to burn my ultimate to kill him, so I ended up just flashing and just beating him to death. My ultimate is far more valuable. Now, speaking of greed, I jump on the Fizz, go all ham on him, and pop my ultimate. And I get a little too, brave here. I end up getting CC down by the Leona, and I get popped, and Lucian finishes me off. Yeah, that was insanely greedy of me. Even thinking back on it, I'm like, why the fuck did I do this? Fortunately, at this point, my team is snowballing absolutely out of control, and the enemy team is going all sort of solo mode. They're all looking for kills, but not proper trades. And this is what I mean by Master Yi sort of being bullshit. So the Master Yi is able to 1v1 a Lee Sin who's 3 levels higher than him, because he didn't have exhaust admittedly, and he did have the red smite. Just because Master Yi is just one of those champions who will kill most people in 1v1 and take all these advantages and just roll with them. Still though, he's not particularly a smart Master Yi, so I know, talking smack about players, but you'll see what I mean. So Master Yi decides to rush the Lissandra and then just get absolutely blown up. I don't know what his end goal was here. I know, even if I wasn't there, even if me and Blitzcrank weren't there, Master Yi would have probably just died anyways. So there was no reason for him to Alpha Strike. I don't even know if he Alpha Strike the Lissandra. I think he Alpha Strike the minions. So even then, that was even dumber to do. So yeah. If you see your opponents doing these kinds of things, just make sure not to feed them, and you'll kind of win just by nature taking its course. Like here, Fizz goes ham trying to kill the Blitzcrank, okay? He trades his life away for a support. That's not even close to being worth it. So, unfortunately, my team is also kind of all over the map, so we're not able to control the dragon buff, but fortunately we're there to punish the Lucian, and I managed to catch the Master Yi. He alpha strikes me instead of continuously running, and Fizz and Leona sort of clump up and get destroyed by my ultimate. Master Yi will be the only one to die, unfortunately. Fizz managed to escape, or at least elude us, and I miss my E, or he dodges it. Leona as well. I think she does get, yeah, she got blown up by Lissandra, so it's technically still in our advantage. None of us died. We lost Dragon, but we blew them all up. And here, I try to tower dive, or at least, you know, sneak attack against the Lucian and Fizz, and I miss. Or at least the Lucian dodges, and I missed against the Fizz. Lucian, instead of completely running forever, decided to stick around and fire back, and got killed for basically free. Okay, 30 kills in our advantage. 30 kills for us, 14 for them, 21 minutes in. This is placed matches. The Master Yi, again, goes against me. The only reason I flash is because I was hoping Lee Sin would get a little closer before I let my passive get blown up. I get exhausted. I had like 200 health and they exhaust me. And I have my passive. This happens a lot in lower placement where just summoner spells are wasted at the gazoo. And again, since the very beginning of the game, I've been trying to do that to some people. Just make them, like, inadvertently pop their summoner spells on me. So we get the tower, my teammates get a few more free kills on the people who stuck around a little too long. And you can see me push back top tower. I teleport in after a really messy fight from the red team trying to stop my teammates. Master Yi managed to kill the Blitzcrank, but ends up paying the price soon enough. I try to get to Fizz, nothing happens, Leona comes in and doesn't do anything to me, and then we just kind of waltz out of there. It's like, there's no organization going around here, and I know for a fact that the enemy team does have a multi-queue in them, alright? Especially because at the end of the Champion Select, the amount of bullshit they were spewing at everybody. It's definitely hell. For me right now, it's kind of heaven because my team is winning despite me playing like absolute trash in the beginning. But Jesus Christ, it's like this is absolute terror. Again, I made Zac as a sort of panic pick because I couldn't figure out what top laner to use. I hadn't prepared it. I thought I'd get jungle mostly, but no, I got top lane and I just decided to go for somebody safe. If I wanted to win, all right. If I wanted to win and I was top lane, I would pick shit like Renekton, right? You could, as Renekton, you can destroy your opposing top laner. You can go balls deep, kill the enemy carry, or do something, right? And at the same time, you yourself are kind of naturally tanky. So shit like that is what you want, and it's what you need, both as a jungler and top lane. Again, I'll repeat that again. You want versatile killers who are both tanky, can deal damage, and have some control. In the lower divisions, unless your opponents fuck up that much, your carries like Tryndamere and Master Yi won't do shit if the rest of your team is too busy smoking crack. Like, they picked a lot of carries, Master Yi, Tryndamere, Fizz, cancer champions, but it didn't amount to much because they were being controlled and punished. They got too overzealous and too greedy, so yeah, they're losing pretty damn hard. Look, we are at 41 fucking kills already, right? 25 minutes in. They keep going in one at a goddamn time. They don't mind my team's cooldowns. Like, the only reason they're able to get any kills is because my team is just hanging around with very, very low health. At this point, you can see Tryndamere dealt dick for damage. I am basically immortal to everyone except the Fizz. I built nothing but armor because I figured as soon as you've seen them throughout the game, they're stupid enough to focus me. As long as I stay away from the Fizz, no one on the enemy team should be able to kill me. But again, as you can see, it's just there's just so much disorganization. Leona wants to go in, Lucian wanted to back out. Now Lucian goes in, and Leona's too far away to actually do anything. And then we catch the Lucian. Well, we don't actually. We kill the Lucian, though, I believe. There we go. Lucian dies. Lee Sin goes in, and I believe my passive gets popped here. Master Yi gets killed again, anyways. Leona gets dropped, and with that, the game is pretty much over. It was ridiculously hellish. I may have sucked, but I sucked less than my opponents. So all of you who are afraid of your placement matches, look at that. There was a lot of stupid going in the game. As long as you yourself are smarter than everybody else, you should be able to contribute no matter how poor your mechanics might be. I know, thankful that I had some teammates who were also kind of on the ball, but the enemy team kind of just dropped it from the very beginning. So, hooray for Zach, and I hope all my future placement matches go this easy.